Hey traders, checking in on the marijuana sector. Very big day for the bulls, clearly standing out, completely bucking what the broader market was doing in a very bullish manner. Lots of volume and a lot to check in on. Stay tuned.
Introducing the Chart Guys Swing Report, a weekly digital publication that uses technical analysis to identify long-term market opportunities. Understand the market from a swing trade perspective. Follow institutional money as it rotates from sector to sector, and make the most of the Swing Report's weekly trade opportunities, with key entry and exit levels provided. Performance is tracked and updated weekly. For more information, visit us at chartguys.com. Now, let's check out some charts.
So first off, me having an Aurora hat means absolutely nothing aside from the fact that it's a very comfortable hat. They make a good hat. I can say that much. So CGC, look at that bull volume. So we are in a period right now where we see this move and everybody says, this time it's different. And then we consolidate and everybody says, oh, wait, it's the same. We haven't even changed the daily trend. And now today is saying, this time it's a bit different. And again, it's because of the election and the votes that are upcoming. Huge dollar volume. We're talking $280 million traded. And a move up, close at the high of the day. And if we break 2013, daily trend change confirmed. And after 2013, 2219 is the only level nearby. And that level would confirm a monthly trend change to the bulls as well. This volume doesn't just show up for no reason. So we saw bot buying. This on the 5-minute time frame, and you can even zoom in. This on the 2-minute time frame shows you robots buying a lot of volume. Just slow steps up, zero meaningful consolidation, and just snatching everything and squeezing a bunch of shorts. This move in the morning up to 1962 essentially said, all right, I see you shorts over the last few days. Everybody says this time it's no different. Anybody that entered short in the last 4 days of consolidation was put underwater with no chance to cover during that move up. So I chose APHA entry first thing this morning, looking for a temporary bottom to be set on the earnings reaction. Wrong horse. I recognized that, and I said, all right, well, I know what I'm looking for. What do we see? Time and time again, if we've been trading this sector for years, what happens on the really bullish days with a lot of bull volume behind them? Morning bull run, midday, hourly bull flag, end of day, strong close, gap up open. We've seen that dozens and dozens of times. Obviously, it was often back on the blue sky breakout run up, but we can still recognize that. So I saw the 5-minute high or low, and as soon as we broke that support, I bought. So this is part of me right there, this volume. Why would I buy a support break? Because bear breaks on a shorter term time frame with a lack of follow through are bull flags on a longer term time frame. I was confident seeing that dollar volume. Okay, bulls are going to try and close this at the high of the day. And while this was going up, let's look at this period here, 10:15 to 12:35 a.m. SPY was in complete control of the bears today. Here is 10:15 and here is 12:35. We were in a 5-minute downtrend until the end of the day on SPY, and CGC completely disregarded it. So as soon as I see zero correlation to the broader market, a massive amount of bull volume, knowing that there's a looming election and some hype for the sector, that's why I was interested. So I am swinging that position from an entry, I forget where I was filled, 1918, I believe. And looking for more. Need to break 2013 tomorrow or it's a red flag. Have to break that level ASAP. Right out of the gate. Give confidence in continuation. So if you were looking at, I'm trying to think of what I want to say here. So I am surprised initially, and then I think about it and I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that Canadian MJ is seeing a massive run into the election and USMJ is puttering out a little bit. And then I think about it, well, use yourself as an example. I am comfortable trading way more volume on CGC than I am on any of the USMJ names. $280 million traded, roughly rounding. You can't put $5 million on these USMJ names. If you put $1 million on them in one day, you're going to significantly influence the price. So traders that are throwing around $5 million, they're going to choose the NYSE and NASDAQ listed names. And it doesn't matter if the individual company is going to have more to gain or lose in this election, taking a name, let's say, Green Thumb, GTII. They clearly have more to gain or lose, in my opinion, in the short term than CGC does in this election, but liquidity, higher exchanges, dollar volume, and that's where the big boys are going to play. So I played with them today, and if you told me that 2 weeks from the election that my Canadian MJ positions would be offsetting some weakness in my US MJ positions, that would not make any sense to me. But that is what is currently happening. So we'll see if we get follow through with that daily resistance break tomorrow, and the volume certainly has the odds favored that that will be the case. So APHA trying to set a bottom from the earnings reaction, have to confirm the hourly trend change tomorrow. I made an entry at 460. It's profitable, but obviously, again, wrong horse. So I shifted focus quickly away from APHA once I recognized that. Bulls have to hold 458 and break 486 to confirm the daily trend change. From there, we zoom out and we look for a daily lower high. Cron, daily high or low is set. We're still a ways away. We have to break 608, and that is currently about 5% from where we currently stand. So Cron is a weaker version of CGC, and even then, we have a lot of previous price resistance to work through that CGC does not have to work through as far as all this short-term previous price action. ACB and TLRY. So we've seen it before, and you'll see it again. The weakest names in the sector have the greatest percentage pops when a ton of dollar volume comes in. Why? Because everybody's on one side of the boat. Everybody's bearish, and there's a lot of shorts that are covering. The dollar volume on ACB, yeah, there's a lot of bull volume, but a ton of that dollar volume is shorts covering as well. So we've seen it time and time again. We see bears in absolute complete control, and there's our one-day bull pop. Bears in absolute complete control. There's a little 3-day pop. Bears in absolute complete control. Here's our 1-day pop. Anything under 571 is just a lower high. That's over 20% from where we stand, and the bulls are just hoping to bounce significantly enough to set up a daily trend change. Bears have been piling back into this name as soon as any momentum is lost from the bulls in the sector, so we have to be aware of that. Bulls want to see as much of a move as they can, and then a daily higher low and higher high is needed. I personally have no interest in ACB. If I'm trying to be real aggressive and I'm trying to grow a real small account and go for home runs, then absolutely. I'm just every day scouting a little short squeeze move on this kind of name. But bigger picture, that wastes a lot of time. And I would gladly personally just go with the names I'm more comfortable and confident in for a smaller percent move, as opposed to trying to find the day that the eventual notable shift takes place. But congrats to the bulls that got in today. Strong close, looking for a potential gap up open. Be aware that the broader market right now is subject to headlines about stimulus. Today was pricing in the probability of a stimulus not happening, and then the market closed, and then details come out, well, we're going to talk a little bit more tomorrow. So 5-minute bear control the entirety of the day, and now we're going up, and the first real bounce is taking place in extended hours, and those headlines are a partial reason. TLRY, daily higher low set. 671 is resistance. Similar to Cron, about 5% away. And if we break that 671, 692 is next, but trying to see follow through with the rest of the sector. VFF, clearly lagging behind. 538 is the level it has to break. 6% away from that level, but not nearly. If you show me this daily chart on its own, I think that there's nothing unusual going on with the sector today. And you show me TLRY, Cron, or CGC, and that volume and that candle tells me something was going on today. IIPR. So trying for a daily higher low and struggling to form it. And over the weekend, saw this rising wedge that made me real cautious. I looked at this chart and I said, maybe I want an entry on IIPR, daily higher low. And I actually want to start from a different anchor point. And then I saw this rising wedge and I said, nah, we haven't seen any monthly consolidation since the COVID lows, and we bounced 200%, maybe even more than that. So knowing that the monthly chart has not consolidated in 7 months, And knowing that we bounced over 200% and knowing that we are in a daily rising wedge, that has me very cautious. And I actually may consider a short. We rejected from the all-time high by about 2%. If we set a daily high or low and bounce, I will consider a short entry for the possibility of this pattern following through. But for now, anything above 123.32 is still a daily high or low. GRWG bulls showed up with a little volume spike. Resistance is 1869, which we topped out at. And then we're looking up to 1934 to try and see continuation. And after 1934, we're looking back to that all-time high. Just a slow and steady bull move up, and certainly benefiting on a day like today. Trading with the sector, not with the NASDAQ. NASDAQ was down today. MSOs. So the MSOs failed to confirm daily bull trends, daily bull flags on Friday. And that was an initial red flag for me. And so I took some position off. Again, I've been swinging TCNNF and GTBIF. TCNNF has been 2/3 of my position. GTBIF was 1/3. As soon as I saw those rejections, we had Curaleaf reject to the penny from resistance. And we had GTBIF fail to get over 1630. Those rejections led to me to take 1/3 of my profit in those positions, knowing that I will gladly buy back higher in the face of bull momentum and bull volume if I have to. And that's me taking my conservative style of, if I'm going to make a mistake, I'm going to leave money on the table, I'm not going to give back my profit. So exited 1/3 of those positions, and then I evened out those positions. So GTBIF then had as much holding as TCNNF, because Friday TCNNF showed us some weakness comparative to its peers. And that was magnified again today. I nibbled a bit more re-entering on GTBIF and TCNNF today, seeing the MJ sector strength in Canada, seeing the lack of bearish correlation with the broader market. So I nibbled back a little bit of what I sold on Friday, but I'm staying cautious here. And again, it's entirely possible that big money is going to focus on Canadian MJ because of how much easier it is to run and how much easier it is to use dollar volume versus the OTC. So as GTBIF is concerned, again, look at GTII and it's much more clear. It's a daily inside bar. We don't have that big upper wick. That's the OTC market makers messing around. But we need a clear, convincing break over these two resistance levels. And if we're looking at GTII 2152, we get up to 2155, double top, have to break that level convincingly. And from there, the most important level is 2175 and 21, make that 2202. GTBIF has to get over 1668, and that would be a very notable bull break if that can take place. I will bail on these USMJ positions very quickly if they don't show me what I want to see into this election. CURLF, so here's this triple top, 910, 909, 910, but a strong close and a nice uptick in volume. So bulls are just fine here. Daily higher lows being maintained after 910. We're looking up to 970 to try and see weekly continuation. That's the most important resistance. TCNNF, red flag. Bearish engulfing candle. Again, it stood out as the weaker of the US MSOs on Friday, and today it was correlating with the broader market. We closed down 2.4%. GTBIF down 1/10 that much, 0.25%. CURLF up 3.7%, and Cresco was up, down 0.4. So this was the weakest US MSO out of the major names. And look at us down at the low of consolidation. We are close to negating the possibility of a daily bull flag. This makes me uncomfortable as a bull. This is not what I want to see at all on a day like today. So if we see a bear break with follow through under $21, I will probably exit further of my position. The last thing I'm going to do is hold a bag in this sector if we do not see the run up. Why are we not seeing the run up? A number of reasons. Could it still be, a hangover from the dilution news that we had recently, and other US MSOs haven't had recent dilution news? Maybe. You could say TCNNF is focused in Florida, and the potential for individual states like New Jersey and Arizona that are going to be voting have more benefit to some of the other US MSOs who are more likely to be expanding in that space. That's a possibility. But again, it's a red flag. There's no other way to cut it. This has been one of my favorite US MSOs. If you cannot look at your favorite son in the face and say, you're doing a bad job, you got to do better. It's an odd example to use my child, but that's what it is. Keep it real. Do not fall in love with these names. It is disappointing me the last 2 days. CRLBF, right up to resistance, unable to break it. Again, have to see this follow through. Right now, election bulls are playing Canadian MJ in a big way today and doing nothing for USMJ. So if that's a trend that's going to continue for the next week or two, then I'm going to shift my focus to Canadian MJ and leave the OTC names in the dust and look forward to the uplistings that will eventually happen, because that will be the game changer that I need to see to be more comfortable using more capital on these names. So establish whatever game plan works for you and your risk tolerance. Again, I'm at a point where if I just sold all of my positions right now, and that is all the profit that I'm going to see from an election run-up, that's fine. It's a solid little win. It's not a home run, and I'm fine with that. So I am in protective mode, and if we continue to see Canadian MJ perform and USMJ underperform, I will cut them loose. Have a good rest of your day. Do good things. Dispersing pumpkins around the yard with the intention to smash one open every couple days and let the squirrels and critters eat them. Nice to have this late bloomer with a lot of vibrant color when everything else is fading to brown. Are you fading to brown? If you remember, I had the Dr. Seuss looking lettuce that all went to seed in this bed, and it's left me with a ton of unexpected lettuce that should last through most of the winter. Bonus lettuce. Next weekend I'm going to clear this bed out and plant garlic in it and use a bunch of the leaves from around the yard as some mulch to tuck it in.